All right, seventh grade, this is a demonstration for your line drawing for your landscape painting. I'm going to be talking about how to draw your landscape painting, draw your line drawing accurately. So the first thing that we're going to do is you want to look at where the horizon line is, the line where the land meets the sky. So looking at your photograph, you want to see where that's located on your photograph. So looking at your photograph right here, I find where halfway is down the page, down my photograph, and I see for me, my horizon line is just below halfway. So now I'm gonna look at my paper, I'm gonna find halfway, and then I know that the horizon line is just below halfway. I wanna take a look at the quality of that line, see where it bumps up, because it's not perfectly straight. All right, I might also want to figure out where it's going as well. So I have a tree over here, but I'm looking at where halfway is, and it's pretty much at halfway because it's going up. So I'm looking at my paper, I find where halfway is, and I'm going to make a little tally mark there in order to know that that's the end point where I want to end. All right, so my eye is following along the horizon line, and I'm taking a look at where it bumps up a little higher. As you're drawing, it is super important to make sure that you are drawing very lightly, okay? The reason for that is, number one, you don't want dark black lines to be in your painting. All right. The other thing is, if you make a mistake, you want to erase it. So here, I didn't go up high enough for my horizon line. I drew my line light enough, so I'm going to erase some of it. And I want to make sure that I come up a little higher. To make sure that I get that accurate. The next thing I want to look at other shapes that I have to draw, so I'm more confident going with a paintbrush. I have a stone wall in mine. See if there's any other structure in your photograph that you may have to draw. So I'm going to want to draw a line representing the top of the stone wall. I'm going to want to draw a line representing the bottom of the stone wall. So I need to figure out where that's located. So looking at my photograph, halfway down my photograph, and then I go 3/4 of the way down my photograph, and that's where the top of the stone wall is. So looking at my drawing, I find where halfway is, I divide it in half again, the stone wall is right there. Now I need to look at the angle of the stone wall. It's pretty flat right across where it's going to where the tree is. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw, a fairly straight line going across. The next thing I wanna do is look at the line for the bottom of the stone wall. Notice how it's not on the right side of my photograph. It is on the bottom where it's starting, so right down here. Now I want to figure out that angle in where it's going. So I'm going to take a look at where this tree is, looking at where halfway is, and where halfway again, that's usually where that's where the stone wall is. So halfway, and just below, this is kind of where the tree starts and the bottom of the stone wall. And I'm putting in the bottom of the stone wall right there. All right. Once you get the main structures in, the last thing you want to do is go in and put the details, okay? So with this, I'm going to want to take a look at the shape of my rocks. I'm going to want to draw all the shapes that I see in the stone wall. The shapes are made up of colors, all right? So one rock may have, 3 different colors in it, and I'm going to want to draw each of those shapes for my stone wall. I'll hold this up a little bit closer so you can see. After I do that, I want to put the fence posts in that keep the deer out of the field of sunflowers. Figuring out what those fence posts are. I'm going to want to draw in more detail the tree and you know where the branches, the large size branches are. I'm also going to want to put in to draw the little yellow sunflowers that I see, just little circles showing where I don't want to put green paint, green watercolor paint, and I need to leave it yellow. That's really important. So you definitely want to draw all the shapes that you see, all the different colors. If you have any questions, let me know. I will post a more completed line drawing in Teams for you to see.